Noodle update December 18th, 2025. Yesterday, OpenAI finally released ChatGPT apps. We have been talking about it, we have seen it coming. OpenAI was expected, and yesterday it went live. This is the iPhone App Store moment from back in 2008, the Android App Store or Play Store moment for AI applications. Let's look at what they released and what it means for your business. Here we have ChatGPT. Some of you with a keen eye would notice this apps thing over here. It was previously you had to go into settings and select applications in developer mode and try them out. Now they're available for everyone. Initially, some large companies that they have privately partnered with show up here. Everything from Expedia, Booking.com, Adobe, Spotify, Target, some of the big usual suspects you see here. And then they've got just two categories live for now, the lifestyle and productivity. One can see a lot of applications and productivity. I have not tried all of them out. Some of them are just actions and no user interface behind it. Nevertheless, this is just the starting point. I fully expect that there are going to be hundreds of thousands or millions of apps in here in not too distant a future. For iOS and Android applications to proliferate to millions or hundreds of millions or even billions of people, it took a long time because the distribution of physical smartphone devices took a really long period of time. Years before it became mainstream. The distribution of ChatGPT is near instant. It was the highest growth application perhaps of all time when it first came out. So they have a huge distribution. Of course, at Noodle Seed, we've been preparing for this. So Noodle Seed helps you build your ChatGPT app. But the future that we expect is that multiple AI platforms, particularly Google, Meta, they will come out with their own AI app ecosystems and app stores. They might have different standards, different protocols, different guidelines, different functionality even. But nevertheless, it is inevitable. So just if you were a business with consumers or a large customer base or a large potential customer base, you had to have a website, then you had to have a mobile app, then you had to have social media presence. In the very near future, you will have to have an AI app presence, whether it's in ChatGPT or Google or Gemini or Meta AI within WhatsApp and Instagram and others. There might be platforms that are not very prevalent today. TikTok might come out with its own AI and its own AI assistant and its own AI app store. So as a business, this is going to be another major channel that most businesses cannot and should not ignore. Just like in previous paradigm shifts, there were companies that emerged that were only mobile app based companies. Or there are companies, entire companies, multi-billion-dollar businesses that totally and completely live right inside social media applications like Instagram or TikTok. In this new age, there will be companies, large companies that emerge that are native AI application first and AI application only businesses. We don't know what shape or form they will take. All we know is that every paradigm shift produces these opportunities. People come along, they figure out how best to utilize these new channels and new platforms and build entirely new businesses. What we are doing at Noodle Seed is enabling any business to have a ChatGPT app in minutes without writing any code. Let's take a look at how you can build your own ChatGPT app within minutes. So we are at noodleseed.com. I shall log in with my own account, and I already have an app built. However, I'll take you through the process or what configuration an app needs. In the future, we'll be adding more functionality, but as of today, towards the middle of December 2025, we have an app that has a business card, something like this. It has a contact form, just like on a website or in a mobile app. You want people to be able to contact you. Same will be the case for AI applications. Products, I just have one product here for now, but we'll show you how to add more products. Appointments, so that people can book appointments with your business staying right inside ChatGPT. We also have knowledge base that's not on the preview here. You set up your business information in here. This is all filled out initially with an AI that crawls your website. But if you don't have a website, you can always set it up here. You just enter your information in here. It shows up inside the business card. Knowledge base. This is only an initial version of the knowledge base because we would in the future have entire documents that you may want to upload. You may want to integrate this into your content management system or pick up information from your public website or other internal business systems. Nevertheless, initially, you'd be able to fill out some information about your business so that people, when they ask questions about your business, your own app should be intelligent enough to be able to answer these questions. Products and services. This is where you would set up your products and services. As of today, ChatGPT is only supporting physical products and services. I fully expect in the future it will also support digital products and services. You can add more products in here, product name, category, image, price, etc. We're going to make this experience a lot more rich and a lot more flexible. Leads that you collect from your users, ChatGPT users. Appointments, so that you can connect your Google Calendar. In this case, I've connected my Google Calendar, and anyone using my application can set up appointments with me through ChatGPT, very similar to Calendly and appointments in Google Calendar. In the future, we'll be bringing Microsoft Outlook as well. In the future, we plan to add transactions right within the ChatGPT app so that we can set it up with your Stripe information, and your potential or actual customers can purchase goods and services from your business staying right inside your ChatGPT application. Other integrations, settings, etc. We'll notice down here we have the MCP endpoint URL. This is where your application is hosted. We're going to be revamping this to support more flexible deployment options. Things like having your own subdomain as a tenant, as well as bringing your own domain name. So this is the setup for my application. What does it look and feel like? First of all, you can preview it right here. So if I've set up my products and services in here, this will give you an ability to just very quickly test out what it's going to look like inside ChatGPT without actually connecting it to ChatGPT and going that way. So I see my product in here. I can try out a couple of other things. What are your locations? I'm not sure if I set up the location in here. I've just got Fremont in here. This is the business card. I could ask questions like, tell me about your ideal customer. At this point, we have done some optimizations for various platforms like ChatGPT. So ChatGPT itself sometimes picks up information about us now. Let's try one more thing. Set up a call. And here it would show available appointments. Let's say tomorrow at 11:30. I provide my name, or my end users provide their name, email address, phone number, etc. Whatever information you want from your end users, confirm booking. It will put that in your calendar and send a calendar invite to the user who booked this appointment. But this is just a preview that we show you. How about inside ChatGPT? So we have submitted the application. We expect ChatGPT and OpenAI is going to review a whole batch of new applications that have been submitted, and very soon release the next batch of apps. But I do have developer mode here, and I've already connected the Noodle Seed application made with Noodle Seed to my ChatGPT through the same MCP URL that we saw earlier. And here I can ask the same information like, what are your locations? And here, as we can see, ChatGPT, this is ChatGPT, this is not Noodle Seed. We saw the preview here, but in ChatGPT itself, we're going to have these user interface elements that are hosted and provided by your application. Noodle Seed does all the hosting and service provision, shows up for your users inside ChatGPT. They can set up appointments with you, set a call. So right inside ChatGPT, your users or your potential customers will be able to set up appointments with you and your business right inside ChatGPT. Let's say Monday, sometime, fill out the form and get your appointments. This could even be a charged activity, so people may be able to set up paid appointments from right inside ChatGPT with you and with your business or your customer's business, in case you are a digital marketer or a digital agency working on behalf of another business. This is ChatGPT and what's available today. Now let's talk about the future and where we see this inevitable train heading towards. Google is not just going to cede this space to OpenAI. Google has an existential threat if people simply go to ChatGPT, not just get their questions answered, but also take actions on third-party applications right inside ChatGPT. So if I go to Google today, I can ask for information about any business. Let's say, tell me about Noodle Seed. Yeah, it's doing the usual Google thing. It searches for what you asked for, the blue links as usual, and they have inserted this AI generated answer. Noodle Seed is a no-code platform that enables businesses to create and deploy AI assistant apps across various conversational platforms like ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, and Claude. So, how is Google going to support a query like, let's say we have information about ChatGPT, about Noodle Seed, but how about, can you set up a call with Noodle Seed? This is an action. This is not an informational request. Of course, Google cannot help its users set up appointments right inside Google search. In ChatGPT, I was able to do that. Why? Because Noodle Seed as a business has an app inside ChatGPT which serves the sort of protocol information, the API endpoints that allow ChatGPT users to set up appointments with me right inside ChatGPT. Is Google not going to have to do that? Of course, Google will do that. Now, whether they do it in the main Google search itself or somewhere inside its Gemini or AI mode, time will tell. Google may decide to have its own Gemini app store or a Google app store that exposes parts of the Play Store apps or parts of a dedicated Gemini store apps and allow people to book these appointments or take actions or collect leads or some other action in the future that allows the end user to interact with a business bi-directionally, not just one way. Right now, Google is a one-way street. So you ask a question and you just get information back through Google from whichever business or website that's hosting the information. It does not allow an end user to take an action through Google backed by some entity or business. This capability is coming. It's inevitable. Not just Google, Meta with Instagram and WhatsApp and all of its distribution inevitably is going to do this. Claude, that came up, Anthropic, that came up with the MCP standard in the first place, they will inevitably do this. They already have MCPs as apps inside Claude. So if we look at Claude, if we look at Claude, it has all these apps and connectors. Some I've already set up, more you can set up. These are nothing more than MCP servers. Google has already announced that it is going to adopt the MCP standard for all of its services. Google MCP services. Google has announced it. So it is highly likely that Gemini App Store will also be some form of an MCP server. ChatGPT applications are already just a highly specialized MCP server with a very particular protocol for widgets and tools. Google is also doing this. In fact, the MCP standard has already been donated to an open source foundation, MCP Foundation, Agentic AI Foundation. This is where AIF. This is where the MCP standard has already been donated by Anthropic, but other members, part of it, Google, Microsoft, Cloudflare, Anthropic, OpenAI, all of these companies are inevitably going to adopt the standard and build applications and expose applications on MCP standard. How does Noodle Seed help you in all of these scenarios? Today, we provide all the configuration exposed as an MCP endpoint for ChatGPT. Since we have the experience of building these MCP servers, we can expose the same business information, actions, as a slightly different MCP server according to a new store protocol. Let's say Gemini has its own layer on top of the MCP standard with its own particular requirements and protocols. We can create those adapters as these new platforms make their APIs and SDKs available. This is the direction in which the world is heading. This is our point of view. We fully expect that just like Noodle Seed, OpenAI will release its own first-party tooling. Google will release its own first-party tooling. Meta will release its own first-party tooling. But none of these first-party tools will allow you to make applications once and publish across all AI agents, including their competitors. So OpenAI is never going to release the tooling where you set up your business once and expose it to the Gemini App Store or the Meta AI App Store. And it won't happen the other way around. So you need a neutral player like Noodle Seed where you set up your application once, deploy it everywhere across all AI platforms. So this is where we have gotten to so far. This is the path that I described we're taking towards the future. And I hope you join us in this journey. Even before the release of ChatGPT apps, more than 100 people have already built some sort of application and tried it out on Noodle Seed. Now that ChatGPT apps have been released, I fully expect this trend to grow from here. Join us in this journey, make your own ChatGPT app, and have the door open for other platforms in the future using Noodle Seed.